Hi, this is a short presentation of the Zenon Network wallet called Syrius. The goal of this video is to give you a first impression of some of the core features and functionalities that characterize Zenon Network and its participants. Let's start with the basics. Security. Zenon Network has an account chain structure. This means when you create a new wallet, the addresses are deterministically generated and linked to your seed. If you restore your wallet with your 24-word mnemonic seed phrase or password encrypted JSON file, it will therefore always recover all addresses that you ever created in it. The account chain structure also means that you perform all actions in the wallet on a per-address basis. If you want to send or delegate coins from a specific address, you just select the one you like in your settings. Your wallet actions will then be performed for that particular address. Unlike most other crypto wallets, Syrius also supports an embedded node for every client. This is important for network decentralization and ensures every wallet user does not have to trust public nodes to interact with the network. Syrius makes it incredibly easy for anyone to run their own full node at the click of a button. The dashboard gives us a general overview of the state of the network, the balance on the currently selected address, as well as the amount of plasma fused for your addresses. We'll get to the function of plasma in a minute. On the right side you can also see the number of pillars and sentinel nodes which validate and enforce consensus rules of the protocol. The Transfer tab allows you to send and receive Zenon tokens such as ZNN or QSR. The founding developers indicated in a tweet that eventually it will also be possible to send and receive Bitcoin directly from within Syrius. Bitcoin interoperability through Taproot is one of the core focus areas of the development roadmap. Pillars are the main consensus validator nodes of the Zenon network. You can easily set up a pillar directly in Syrius. All you need is a VPS, 15,000 ZNN in collateral and some QSR to burn. All pillars are shown in the list below. The weight shows how many ZNN have been delegated to each pillar by network participants, and the reward columns show how much of their rewards pillar holders share with their delegators. Delegators can select a pillar directly from this list and add voting weight to it by delegating the entire address balance to the one they like most. This is done through an embedded smart contract that runs on the protocol level. Pillars earn 50% of all ZNN protocol emissions in form of momentum and delegation rewards. They can share these rewards to attract more delegators, which then add weight to the pillars and move them up in the pillar list. For now, the top 30 pillars have a higher chance to find a momentum block and earn momentum rewards than non-top 30 pillars. It is possible the community will someday vote on making this distinction less binary and move to a more linear model with more than just top 30 and not top 30 pillar reward tiers. But for that, a Zenon Improvement Proposal, or ZIP, must be submitted to a governance vote to the community. The way delegators earn pillar rewards also shows one of the core principles how decentralized apps running on Zenon NOM will be monetized in the future. Delegators will be able to pay for online services by redirecting their cash flow of delegation rewards to the service provider through a smart contract. Unlike pillars, sentinels do not validate network consensus. Instead, they form a public backbone of full nodes that maintain the state of the dual ledger by enforcing network validation rules. Once implemented, they also scale the network to 100,000 transactions per second and increase the speed of the initial block download. Finally, sentinels create proof-of-work links for transaction finality and help prevent double spends and chain splits. Just like pillars, sentinels can be set up directly within Syrius. To do that, you need to lock 5,000 ZNN and 50,000 QSR. In contrast to pillars, sentinels only lock up QSR, they don't require to burn it. Sentinels earn 25% of all QSR emissions and 13% of the ZNN emissions. Stakers are another important type of network participants. They earn up to 50% of all QSR emissions in exchange for helping secure the network by locking up ZNN for up to 12 months at a time. Next, we have one of the radical innovations which make all transactions on the Zenon Network of Momentum completely feeless. It's called Plasma. Plasma has two basic functions. It tokenizes network throughput and it makes the network spam resistant. Every transaction on Zenon NOM requires Plasma. It's similar to gas, but with the main difference that you never actually spend it. You just rent network throughput. There are two ways to generate Plasma. Either you fuse some QSR which transforms it to Plasma and locks it up for 10 hours before you can unfuse it back to QSR. Or, if you don't have any QSR, your wallet will use your hardware to create Plasma by performing some proof of work. Depending on the required network bandwidth needed for a transaction, more or less plasma may be needed. For example, calling an embedded smart contract requires more plasma than just sending ZNN from one address to another. It also depends on how much the network is currently being used by other people. Being able to generate plasma with proof of work will also create interesting use cases with Bitcoin merge mining the community is currently exploring. Last but not least, it is possible to fuse QSR and generate plasma for any address, which means there might eventually be a marketplace for those who have idle QSR and those who need high TX throughput, such as merchants. The next tab is called tokens. Any asset on Zenon Network uses the Zenon token standard. Zenon tokens can be configured to be mintable, earnable, and utility tokens. Technically, it is already possible to create non-fungible tokens too. Syrius conveniently gives us the possibility to create new tokens in minutes. All you need to do is configure some parameters and pay a 1 ZNN fee to the network. The next tab has a little bridge icon and is used to participate in Zenon's cross-chain liquidity program. One of the core goals of Zenon is multi-chain interoperability. To achieve that, it's necessary to be able to represent Zenon assets on other blockchains in order to provide liquidity to autonomous market makers so that it can be traded on decentralized exchanges. In this initial version, we are able to directly LPZNN to the BNB trading pair on Binance Smart Chain from within the wallet. To incentivize LPs and offset their risk of impermanent loss, they are rewarded a part of the Zenon network emissions for providing liquidity for DEX trading. Last but not least, and probably one of the most important features of Zenon Network, is the on-chain accelerator. Anyone who wants to contribute to the Zenon ecosystem can seek funding in form of ZNN and QSR through Accelerator Z directly from the wallet. After submitting an application, it gets broadcasted to all pillars who then vote on whether the project qualifies for AS. If a certain quorum is reached, the applicant can request the payout of funds after delivering his or her work. This payout is subject to a second pillar vote. If accepted, the funds get transferred from the Accelerator Z pool to the applicant through an embedded smart contract. Because the network was fairly launched and its economics were designed to progressively decentralize it, Accelerator Z is probably the first and only truly decentralized, on-chain incubator and project funding program that is completely governed by the community. By now, over 25 projects have been funded and are currently in development, including a mobile wallet, Zenon.tools, browser extensions, multiple cross-chain bridges, and atomic swap implementations, but also projects aiming to raise awareness for Zenon, just like the slide deck this video is part of. I hope I was able to give you a first impression of the innovative characteristics of Zenon Network, and in the name of the entire community, we welcome you to join us on our mission to decentralizing the world and building the foundation for Bitcoin-powered network states.